qualitative and quantitative measures, placing an emphasis on the qualitative methods. Little empirical research exists on coaches and parents on positive youth development, so it's really important for us to give youth a voice in letting them share their opinions with us. So multiple methods were employed, and one was an event diary because it was used to give youth a chance to write down their feelings on their own, and we had some prompts, and I'll get to that in a little bit. We also used interviews only for the youth so we could gain in-depth information. And then we used a short questionnaire where we had the youth, coaches, and parents fill out quantitative measures. So if we start with the event diary, youth were provided with lists and definitions of life skills at the beginning of their diary, and when I went to talk to them about it, I would go through the list and we would sort of read it together so they understood what it meant to set goals, what resolving conflicts meant, and then it was always there for them if they wanted to come back to it when they were filling out their diary. And then for each page that they filled out, there was a checklist of life skills so they could check off whichever skills they felt they used in that practice or game that day. So if it was goal setting or resolving conflicts, they could check that off or not. After that, then we had an open-ended question of how did they experience that life skill that day in the practice or in the game. And then they had these journals for about 4 weeks, so that part of the study took about 1 month. So the life skills that were checked off in the diary were also used for the interview, so in that way the interviews were customized for each participant. So for example, if somebody checked off goal setting in their event diary, I would ask the following questions in their interview. I would ask, how have you learned to set goals through participating in basketball? Then I would ask, how does your coach influence how you learn to set goals in basketball? And then how do your parents influence how you learn to set goals in basketball? And I asked the same set of questions for each life skill that they checked off in their diary. So in addition to qualitative methods, we developed items to which girls responded on a 5-point scale to attain a quantitative rating of life skills learning. And the questionnaires also served as a means to gain parent and coach self-report on perceptions of teaching life skills to youth. So these questions included, for the youth, I learned how to set goals in basketball from my head coach. And then there would be one that would say, I learned how to set goals in basketball from my parents. And then for the coaches, it would say, I teach my players how to set goals. And then for the parents, I teach my child how to set goals in basketball. So they were parallel questions for each type of participant. So youth responded to 26 items for the 13 life skills, and parents and coaches responded to 13. So from the